Hello everyone, this is Luke. Welcome to update 0.31. There's a bunch of stuff here to talk about, so let's get to it. First thing you notice is there's this new window here called Practisim Designer. At the same time, you also notice the axis on each of these panels. So before this, you could change the UI, how this UI looks like by hitting tab. So now I simplified how that tab thing works. So basically you have the full view. You hit tab again, you have the simple view, and you hit tab again, you have the no view. Basically, it's just a clean view. This is useful if you want to take like screenshots and stuff like that. So you can keep cycling through it by hitting tab, but at the same time, you can also now open and close these windows. Like for instance, I don't usually use this pose icon window, so I'll just close that. And I'm now an expert using the controls for rotation and stuff. I don't need this either, and I also probably don't need this because I memorize all this commands, right? So I just close that. And so now if you keep tabbing, you see that that setting will persist. If you want to bring it back, you just go to Windows here and then you say, okay, I want the key bindings one back. I'll just bring it back like that. So now you have the option to change how you want this UI to look for you. So let's talk about this new thing called the Practisim Designer. The Practisim Designer is basically a list of props that are in your current design, right? And so if I go over here and I drop in a USPSA target, you see that now I have a USPSA full target here. So let me load one of the existing files that I have to show you how this works. So as you can see, this is a very complicated stage design, and you'll see on the left here, I have a bunch of stuff here that shows all the props I have in my design. So let's say if I want to locate the CZ, the gun itself, right? Where is it in the stage? So I click on this and now it points directly at the gun and my mouse is now over the gun and it's highlighted. If I want to see where this snowshoe is, I click on that and say, oh, that's this snowshoe over here, right? So you can very quickly get to each of these items. So hopefully you all like that. The other thing I modified is how you adjust your fault lines. So Marcel does a lot of design work, and one of the enhancements that he wanted was how you can very quickly just adjust the length of a fault line. And so if you go over to the stage markers here and if you pick, let's say, a fault line, 4-foot fault line here, right? Let me go closer to this. You know, if for any other object, let's say for instance, if I pick a push button, and if I want to resize this, all I have to do is hit the arrow and a resize dialog will pop up, and here you can adjust your resize, right? But for fault lines, you don't really need to adjust it in the width or height or thickness of this thing. You just want to adjust the length, right? And so if you can hit arrow now, do you see the dialog box doesn't appear, so you can very easily just resize your fault lines. And then another request he wanted was, right now, if you look at this grid, it's a 1 by 1 meter grid, 3 foot by 3 feet. And so for those of you who do a lot of design work in feet, in the imperial measurement, we now have additional grids for you. So if you go over to Bay, now you can see I have 4 new textures down here, ground textures. So white on blue, and each of these grid is now a 2 by 2, 2 feet by 2 feet. White on gray, white on green, and maybe a gray and white as well. So now if you do a lot of, so if I drop in, let's say, a stage marker 4 feet, you see that now this is 4 feet wide, right? And so for those of you who work in the feet measurements, your design will look very nice with the grid layout now. Talking about bays, I also added 2 more bays that are provided by Jonathan. So if you go over to bays here, if you're ever in this range, in the Richmond Rod and Gun Club, we have Bay 8. And then if you're in the Linden Gun Range, now you have Bay 4. We will keep adding more bays now as he scans them and send them to me. Those are really nice looking textures. That's pretty cool. And the last enhancement is with the written stage briefings. Dan, who does a lot of ICORE written stage briefings, have asked for a generate button because ICORE is essentially just USPSA but for Revolver. And so if you go over to stage briefing, if you choose ICORE, now you have an option to generate WSB items here. And also for IPSC, if you're doing a lot of IPSC work, from the feedback I got is you don't really need to specify the gun ready condition. If you only need to specify it if it's unloaded, if it's something different from the standard loaded. So let's say if it's unloaded, then you can specify. Otherwise, you can just leave this blank. And when you do that, if you hit print, it will not show the ready condition anymore here. It used to show ready condition blank here, and now that's optional. Also, if you notice for IPSC, if your scoring type is COMSTOCK, it will not show as well. So these are the two enhancements to the IPSC written stage briefing. So I hope you all like that change. All these changes that I made, this update was provided by through feedback from the Discord community and from my patrons. So I thank you so much for providing that feedback. If those of you who want to provide feedback, you can hit escape, go over to file and provide feedback here, or the best way to do it is to join our Discord server. The link to the Discord server is in the YouTube description below. I'd also like to thank the Patreon subscribers who provided a ton of feedback and provided support for me building this tool and maintaining this tool. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon subscriber, just visit this link. So that's all I have for you for update 0.31. I hope you have a great tuning weekend. Wishing you lots of alphas, and I'll see you on the range.